right now. That should be the MO for Cignal Ultra.
Do they... Who's... So yeah, Nyx has got 2 sentries at the moment. I was going to see how the Nyx was going to play with trying to... if you're going to block the camp or not, but... We get to see the Snapfire, which we haven't seen, honestly, too much so far throughout the lower divisions. You know, I guess Phoenix isn't getting picked up as much, so we don't see that Snapfire to deal with the Supernova. But even then, it's kind of just the pick rate's been slightly reduced.
Uproot and after them.
With the Ember up against a troll matchup, going to see how Jamesy is going to be able to do in this. Was impressed with his performance on the Mars. This was the kind of the shining spot from Cignal, which helped them, you know, a couple of those fights at big arenas to enable them to come back in. And this is a game where Daya do not have a lot of ways to be able to stun up the Ember. I feel like they're pretty reliant on the Sand King having a blink and then into this arrow combo from Lin. But
you are getting very deep here, my friend. He was already trying to take that team fight when he was on about half HP, so it definitely reduces the impact of being able to, you know, just go in and brawl. You do need a full mana, HP pool to be able to work with.
Yeah, nice, decent chunk of harassment already. The if that sustains, really going to start coming through once they can find the levels, but at least even then, I mean, they can still brawl up here as well. Like the Snapfire with the Fury on, once they, you know, you and DB want to start pushing the tempo. Is this what's the timing really actually down bot though? Is what Arrow connects here thanks to woMy's Burrow Strike. They're going to be able to pick up first blood. So Abat had a pretty rough landing stage on the Ursa last game, and you see he's already unfortunately going to lose that first life.
I think it's very different this time. Like, Ursa against a Pugner is basically unplayable in lane. Yeah. This was an issue of just some poor positioning, being picked off. So you're always going to be able to secure something against the Sand King. It's just a matter of how much do you let the Sand King get. On the top side, you can see he's actually gone the point into the Echo Stomp there, which I'm not feeling quite as strongly about. You know, a big part of the strength of being able to just go in and brawl is even just having the 1 point in the natural order super early on, so that you're getting rid of a lot of this this base armor that a lot of these heroes do have.
Prepare for a lesson.
There's so much damage when he's got the Astral. It's actually so stupid. Hopefully, maybe we can get a stack and a pull off. Unfortunately, might even still at least be able to get the pull. That's what you're looking for here. Try and reset the lane, deny some creeps, and Io and Troll both are around the top of the last hits as well. How do you think the Troll needs to itemize this game? Is it just the Ags once again that we've been seeing, or can he go for something like a Battle Fury?
Well, speaking of them, there's a bit of action happening in the mid lane. Are they just both going to die? No.
The evasion.
The evasion, really effective there. Oh, you know, it's actually... If the game goes super late, like level 25, which I doubt it will, but if it does, you've actually got a really cool combination here with the Troll Warlord and the Sand King. If the Sand King goes the Sandstorm Slow and Blind, and if you don't have the BKBs, it's actually 100% mischance. It stacks additively, the blinding from the Whirling Axes plus the Sandstorm.
So stupid.
Exactly 100%.
Dire structures are fortified.
Miss. Not much you can really do. See, it's a lot of damage coming through from Troll. It's just the 1 point in the further stacks, and his movement speed, just constantly being able to right-click him down. But Erice is over. Move the cookie, finds a connection. At least he's got that little bit of a blind, but James still has the chains and slight to be able to play around with here. So nice TP from Erice, actually. Was able to punish the Troll, who was getting a little bit too far pushed up there.
And how many times do you see a Troll Warlord go a bottle? Because I cannot think of the last time that I have. You know, just obviously wanting to spam out those Whirling Axes as much as possible, remove the threat of that Flame Guard, but obviously it's not doing him an amazing amount of good. The arrow, again, connects onto Abat, but he's under the safety of his tower, so he's going to be just fine.
You up top as well, falling low, but it's a double town bot, alright. Abat and Grimzx, very nicely done. able to find the two aggressive plays here from Army Geniuses, and now that's also right by the bounty, so Grimzx is going to be able to move on through and get a couple of these ones for free.
Now the harass really does start though with the Nature's Prophet. You know, he's got the Blightstone, he's got the Power Treads. Even for something like this Elder Titan, please put 1 point into the natural order. I feel like it's just so important to have if you're trying to go this brawling style. No!
Yeah, I think that's what works so well for when they played it within your dream, and yeah, when 0-2 played it. Like, I was really impressed with just level pickup early on. It was kind of the difference there.
I mean, he maxed it out on in your dream, which I think is fine. I think you absolutely have to have 1 point though. It just does not make sense to run this without the 1 point in it.
Trouble here though, you see this cute little play that they have with the treants pushed up, and then you can utilize that cookie stun. So you does take a decent amount of damage there. Might just make the trip back to base and maybe see if you can get...
They've actually, through doing that pull previously on you, they got rid of the hard camp one that they had. It was the Dark Troll Summoner, which would have been quite nice, but it's not going to be the case anymore. Anything good in the jungle? I guess there's an Alpha Wolf, there's another Dark Troll Summoner, there's a Centaur. You really want that Satyr Tormentor though.
Bot lane, woMy might be under some trouble here if Abat's able to get that extra right click for the poison, so just makes it underneath the tower, but he might still tick out, tries to eat the Tango for the extra regen, but unfortunately it's not enough, and now Grimzx as well. Lim's in trouble, pops the Fairy Fire, is going to end up turning. They missed the arrow, but Grimzx is still going to end up paying there, so it's a 1-for-1. Almost went for that cute little outplay from the Nyx Assassin, but it looks like Mirana just has got shoulders sturdy there down bot.
He had the Fairy Fire to be able to withstand all of that, so nicely done to be able to bait that up for the Mirana, but I honestly don't think you mind all that much on the Nyx. You've got Abat now being able to just continue free farming, and he's picked up his level 6 as well with that kill, so the bad juju going to come into the equation. I mean, the thing that I really like about the Dazzle as well, with the core Dazzle especially, is that Shallow Grave 1 point is actually really value. It's just like slightly less duration.
Lim,
nice.
Arrow on point here. They saw kind of the remnant getting chucked down, and Lim's just like, all right, maybe he's going for a TP in that location. Let's just chuck out the arrow. Instant tips coming out as well. So that is now, you see a little bit of damage on the tower, and it's mainly just the Ember down and missing some waves under the tower here.
Yeah, and clearly all the tips coming through from Army Geniuses. If you're listening in, Army Genius manager or social media person, I want to get a video of the voice comms if you were recording that one, because I'm sure it was a lot of yelling and happiness going on in Discord or wherever else they might be having this. Oh,
another arrow.
Catch him out.
Mark here.
Tip him again.
Even going to claim it. The arrow so far. Lim 3-1-1, so a lot of impact, and it's already got the urn completed now for the Mirana.
Yeah, nicely done. It's not even a naked urn like a lot of these supports like to do these days. It's one of my favorite items to pick up in the early game, but Boots of Speed obviously making full use out of that roaming potential.
Might have a bit of a brawl breakout down bot though, as Cignal got both their supports, Erice with the TP in. Unfortunately, it looks like they're not going to be able to catch our Army Geniuses guessing here. They're able to recognize that, and well, there we go. So the Troll, he's got the Aghanims queued up, has already had a very good start as well for the mid lane, so we'll see how fast he's able to get the Aghanims to help out through the brawl that's going to start to occur throughout the early game. But bot, back in they go. woMy's in trouble, just gets a Burrow Strike, but even then though, the damage that can continue chasing Lim does at least get a return kill with the arrow on the mark once again. So a killing spree for the Mirana, but you do see that the Sand King, that's 3 deaths so far throughout this laning stage.
Lim gets that first point into, first couple of charges into the Urn of Shadows though, so that's going to be really nice for him. Might even enable him to play a little bit more aggressive now that he's got the raindrops coming out to him. That's where a bulk of the damage is coming from Cignal Ultra's side, and probably couldn't have asked for a better item to come from the neutral camps, with Mamang Daya being able to pick up that Possessed Mask. Means that he is actually enabled to go towards the jungle a little bit more. I want to see some stacks start to happen from the rest of his team so that he can eventually transition into that jungling core and give some of the support some space to be able to farm the lane.
Yeah, it'd be nice if the Mirana's rotation from kind of bot to mid if you're able to link up, maybe get a stack through, like even now before the bounty is top though. woMy, this rotation with the help of DB, with this Helm Dom picked up, just slows down the Fury and is going to be able to bring him down before the TP. Unfortunately, it does stop them from getting the bounty, but it looks like DB wants some revenge. Grim's snagging that one, a thief in the wind here, but unfortunately it looks like he still might be in trouble because the movement speed on this Helm Dom, just hunting him down, and once you get that clap, there will be enough there, and it's actually the Snapfire that's going to end up falling to the opposite side.
I think again that was another arrow from Lim. He is Legolas right now, just being able to pick out everyone on his team.
Looks like the whole map kind of converging on mid at the moment. They've got the positioning where Jamesy had to rend them, but I am not having any control, and I mean, woMy's not really going to be able to help out too much. Only 2 points in the Burrow Strike there, so the cast range a little bit too short.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But he's got his Midas. He's going to be about to reach level 10 in one more creep. I think that could be when they try and make an aggressive movement here. Oh, just misses out with a stun though onto the Troll Warlord.
Regeneration.
And he's got the regen rune as well, so he's going to be able to rejoin immediately.
They want to try and use this at least level 6 potential here, but I mean, the Mortimer Kiss is on cooldown, and yeah, nice Echo Stomp. He's even going to chuck the ultimate.
Yeah, I think it's just a zoning one.
Yeah. Push it back, let us retreat for a little bit, get on our side of the map.
Maybe could have put it a bit more into the trees to the right of the tier 1 tower, just so that you are preventing any kind of, you know, TP rotations, backstabs from surprising you. Yeah, you can just see now the Troll Warlord able to sit in the jungle with that Possessed Mask. He really doesn't care all that much. You know, he was even transferred over another Tango by his team, so some good support coming out here. Just need to see some more stacks. Where are the stacks?
Support, give me Tangos, but where the hell are you stacks at? It's one of the things to enable me, brothers. Come on, I just need the farm. We see Abat's getting a lot of it at the moment. That early Midas, he's already got the Gleipnir queued up as well, but the river fight might break out here as Echo Stomp sets up now for the arrow. Now instantly with a relocate, can they bring down the Ember throughout the stun duration? They can do so successfully, and now they'll turn their attention to Erice chasing up the high ground. They go one after another. DB claims it with the clap there, and well, Army Genius is now having the numbers around mid, should be able to take this tier 1 tower. Radiant do have Glyph, they're gonna pop it, but we're yet to see the Furion with the rotation just yet. Is this maybe Cignal aren't playing as fast as you're expecting?
I think maybe they're just waiting for the Maelstrom to be completed up by Abat. I say that as he makes his TP through to the mid lane. He's got the one value point in the Shadow Grave.
Be really careful how deep they continue diving here as well. Troll gets a battle trance off, but now with the Mortem Kiss in the backline, they don't have a way to be able to cancel that. But look at the damage still coming out. As long as Troll has that ultimate, he's going to be able to continue moving on forward. DB flying in as well, but the tether held with the regen's not enough. Troll will drop, but they've still been able to find 3 kills here, and they're hunting for more. Can the arrow be on point? It's not. But sidesteps it. Jamesy's still in the river. He's got a couple of remnants to be able to utilize. Got to be careful because it's only one, and now the Echo Stomp actually sets up for now the Burrow, waiting for as long as possible so the rest of the team can burst him down, and they do so successfully.
Had the at least the Javelin here on the Ember Spirit, so a lot more stuff to be able to deal with and team fight, and it just feels like they're, you know, definitely lacking in their coordination around that.
Yeah, it was a big issue where that tower feels like it's already going to fall, and now you bring the fight to them. You lose, your tower's already going to die. Now you lose an extra couple of heroes, and now it just means Army Geniuses can now start running into the jungle and trying to find this Dazzle, who's, you know, been sitting through there at the moment, not really wanting to try and offer and join in fights. And no, Ira's even got the that level 10 talent, and is very farmed as well, close to the Aghanim's. Already has 2 components with 1,300 gold in the bank.
Yeah, doing real well. I think the way that Cignal Ultra ideally they want the team fights to go is, you know, you start off the team fight, you use the Ember Spirit to, you know, get the initial pick-off happening. Even if you don't get a kill, you just want to bait the rest of the team in. Then you use the Poison Touch, and then even if they retreat, you want to be taking a team fight close enough to a tower that you can still take an objective, regardless of how the initial pick-off attempt goes. So, just by playing it a bit more on the defensive, it feels like you're going a lot further away from that. They've finished up the Orchid now, though, on the Nature's Prophet. He's going to be able to TP through to wherever he wants. He's actually going right into the trees on top of Lim.
Oh, Lim trying to jump everywhere, but unfortunately they're able to find him. Trying to cut through the trees. Van, it's a great way to deal with that. Thanks to Nature's Call. So you see instantly, Van pops the Orchid, jumps in forward, and I was going to say that they haven't been able to find any towers too early on, but it looks like finally they're going to be able to claim one 15 minutes in.
I mean, that's the difference, right? Like, you just saw exactly what happened. Ooh, I don't know what Grimzx was stunning there, but the Ember Spirit?
It was the TP that just missed out there from the ET.
Mm. But yeah, now you've got Maelstrom. You're getting very close to Maelstrom as well onto this Ember Spirit. I think if you did want to wait for that, that's fine. If they wanted to go straight away with the Orchid and Dazzle's Maelstrom, totally cool as well. Ooh, they found out here, it's the Sand King, but a nice stomp coming through. Not gonna be enough
Orchid
though.
ups. Yeah, stops the Burrow Strike away, but it's going to be a nice AT ultimate.
You don't have the troll in the Mirana, yeah.
See, Jamesy not being able to find a Syrian Chain's connection is going to allow Army Geniuses to be able to reset. So they do lose the Sand King. Was very close to the Blinks. Actually has it completed, so never mind. Was able to pick that one up before the death, which is going to feel nice if Army Geniuses want to maybe smoke up and make something happen, because it looks like they've got the Aghanims along completed with the Troll and the Io. So this could be go time here for Army Geniuses with their item advantage now.
Yeah, going to be really important going up against the Troll as well as the Dazzle, just to be able to get rid of the Poison Touch and the Searing Chains. So I think it just puts even more emphasis onto Van to be able to get the early portion of that off. The Orchid, just to prevent a lot of those Whirling Axes from coming out there. But there's a lot of targets that are really valued for the silences, so it's just a matter of what does he choose.
Yeah, nice little sidestep there from Grimzx. They still get the slow of this Arcane Rune along with the Aghanims, man. You see just the constant spam of the Whirling Axes is so annoying. There's not much you can do about it, and they at least get the Nyx Assassin. They missed out on the kill on the Ember, and it is still giving space now for Catapults. This should be able to at least force them to come down here, and even with the relocate, I is going to be able to. But do they have the damage to actually go through at the moment? It's going to be careful. Chose the TPM, but the damage is in trouble, and the Orchid's going to tick him out. Going to try and get a return kill. Troll not getting any roots at the moment. Now some extra reinforcements coming out, but it looks like they're just going to try and stand his ground. And Manfire, grave from Abat. Nice Van as well, utilized at the start there. Is able to at least give him some space for Dazzle, but the battle trans to the last second. Van's Orchid's a little bit too late with the downtime, and he's also going to end up paying the price as well. As Army Geniuses, you lose the IO, but you also get an extra kill across the map with the Snapfire falling mid.
And he's gone for the Axe. I like that item build. I just feel like you're not really doing much of anything until that point. You know, his item build seems kind of all over the place. The Ring of Protection, the Fluffy Hat, small items that do give a decent amount of value, but it just doesn't feel all that impactful. Grimzx in position to try and make something happen here onto Mamang Daya. They've got a couple of seconds left of that Vendetta, trying to get the kill happening, but where's the rest of the team? I'm not seeing it.
Jamesy runs away from the neutral camp though, so they're going to be able to find the Searing Chains connection. But Daya coming over now with the only finds two. He's still up. Finally, the snipe from James is able to claim it, but he'll pay the price there as Army Geniuses lose the troll. But once again, they punish Cignal Ultra, and just time and time again, we're seeing Daya come ahead in the trade.
You have to have Dazzle at these team fights. It's plain and simple. He needs to be at every single one of those attempts because he just provides so much. He provides the survivability, he provides the bad juju, so you can take someone down a little bit quicker. And then if worse comes to worse, now he's got a few more points into that shallow grave. You know, the cast range is really nice, but it just feels a little bit disconnected. Getting close to that Rod of Atos though, which will help him out a little bit.
Is it an issue that Cignal Ultra aren't playing around the Dazzle because of how immobile he is at the moment? Do you think they should group up with him instead of going for these pickoffs?
Well, they just went for that attempt when he wasn't even alive. Like, he was still waiting to respawn, and so I do think they need to rally around him a little bit more, because you've always got the Nature's Prophet that you can just TP in onto anyone. He's gone the Witchblade as well, by the way, so another slow on their side to add on to the Poison Touch, even the mini slow coming from the Scatterblast. A little bit surprised that they didn't, like I mentioned before, put the 1 point into the Little Shredder. Just again, the burst potential, the minus armor. You've already got the Blightstone, you've already got the bad juju, then you would have the minus armor coming from the Little Shredder. Just makes taking towers, taking kill attempts, and even Roshan much more of a serious prospect.
Yeah, yeah, just that extra value point, and exactly like you said, it just gives you a lot more opportunities to be able to take objectives across the map, and I think that's something you can't overlook at all, because it would give you at least now a threat of being able to walk in Roche.
The gang squad is down here, woMy and Lim. They're like, can we get something done onto Jamesy? He's sitting on the other side of this tower though.
They need to get rid of the creeps. Oh, it's just a little bit too late. They tried, but Jamesy just making the space. He's out of remnants though, and meanwhile they do find the ET across the map, and Jamesy's going to be fine.
I appreciate the attempt, but I'm not sure if it was intentional or not, but some good positioning there by the Ember Spirit to be on the other side of the creep wave. Make it a lot more difficult to get that arrow stun through. Well, here comes that smoke. Maelstrom completed on the Ember. I was about to say, they can't go for Roche themselves. They've got a pretty horrible Roche taking lineup if it's just like a naked Roche attempt, I'd like to call it, you know. You need to get at least one pick off beforehand. And they're going to see those balls flying around, so DB, he spotted out.
Oh, nice, the chains, the luck coming through there, now sets up for the woMy kisses. Even Trolls take the in, but it looks like Daya, they want to try and answer the question here with the teamfight breaking out, but the job, they're going to be able to bring down the Ember, the arrow from downtown from Lim, once again, the Archer's on the mark. Even Furian's going to get caught off to the northern side of the fight here, so Army Geniuses will keep back, fighting two heroes from Cignal Ultra, but they want more blood as well, as Trolls move incredibly fast, especially with that extra movement speed coming through from the neutralizer with the bullwhip. They're going to walk up the high ground, even dropping the Earth Splitter. Bad. Is he going to find the connection? No, won't get dragged back. Nick's just trying to be that bodyguard. They even find Kib and still continuing on for more. Unfortunately, the Dazzle just wasn't able to retreat away with a sacrificial lamb from the Nyx assassin.
Oh, just hover over, like, click on the Dazzle right now, hover over the Midas. Agonizingly close to that Wall Assassin just to be able to get the value out of it. I was like, oh, will he be able to get it off? But no, the root locking him in place. And well, is Roshard now a possibility for Army Geniuses? I feel like it might be. You've got a Troll on your side, and yeah, the impact of having that Ag Scepter, not just for the defensive dispel, but able to get a lot done onto the Radiant side as well.
Yeah, look at him go to work. I mean, Radiant still down with the Dazzle for 15 seconds. They're trying to come over and scout it out, but woMy's in a very good spot. Just this high ground kind of power play from the Sand King in case the rest of Radiant come over and try and position aggressively. So Army Geniuses, after a fight like that, can be able to take the first Roche of the game.
Just getting the stun off onto the Nyx, pressuring him out a little bit here. If you had to give MVP, it has to be Lim right now. All of his arrows have been on point, only finding himself out of position a couple of times. Like 9, 2, and 13 in a 23-minute game is nuts.
Troll's gonna be careful, actually. Doesn't have the rest of the team. They're finally coming over now, but the stun wasn't there. Ember wasn't able to find the chains. I guess that's the perfect help thanks to the Troll Warlord Ags, and now they're forced to all TP out. Yeah, this is the thing that they've been utilizing so far this game, the chains from Jamesy to sit up for the kisses, but apart from that, and if the Nyx isn't there, then it's really difficult.
They just missed out finding him with the Astral Spirit there, so he's still sitting inside these trees, Jamesy. Has to be a little bit careful. Oh, they know he's there now. woMy, he's got the Blink Dagger.
That's a TP just straight in the face, so woMy cancels it. Jamesy, he just got all his mana used as well now, so he's in trouble. Pops the one going up to the northern side, but the perfect placement in that Earth Splitter. You just predicting the positioning from the Jamesy Ember, and well, oh, it's just a little bit too cute of an attempt, and they're gonna punish him.
Wonder if that'll even result in a tower. You know, you've got a lot of pressure now with this Troll Warlord being able to push out this bot side. Almost reaching up into that level 20 as well, and none of these heroes are really natural MKB builders, so I wonder if he might even go for the evasion as opposed to the plus damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
he will.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Just gonna further make it so difficult for Radiant to deal the damage they need to be able to kill the Troll. Seeing he's been pretty healthy this game. Another kill though, woMy not even having to pop the epi for that one with the help of Lim. This kind of combo, and it's such a strong one when you've got a point target stun to set up for the skill shot, and they're trying to link on mid as well with the Ire and the Troll.
Man, I only just realized Look at Jamesy's net worth. It is the same as this position for Mirana. It is not looking great. I suppose that's what happens when you've been involved in 5 kills versus, what, 24 out of 28? This Mirana's been enormous. You often see those position 4 Miranas in your pubs and you're like, man, he's just not doing anything. You cannot say the same for Lim.
No, when you've got a position 4 like that who can play the Mirana at this extent, it feels like the arrows, you're more than likely, we're honestly expecting Lim's arrows to hit the mark with how an incredible game 2 they've had. And this also helps to the setup and the draft they put around the Mirana with this Sand King really enables you. And you still have to give some props where it's due, and Lim definitely deserves that, and so do Army Geniuses. But you got to keep in mind, Cignal Ultra, they did come back in that game 1. You know, early game wasn't looking good for them, but the only issue is it feels like, do you have a real way to be able to win as the game goes later on with the Dazzle position 1?
It's gonna be rough, I'll say that much. Oh, who have they found out here? It was a very quick escape attempt there. The level was not able to pick him up. I feel like the late game potential for Army Geniuses is just much stronger, especially like I mentioned before, if it does get to that level 25 on the Sand King for the 100% blind that can come through. Always going to be a big factor.
Well, here's the Roman duo once again looking for a pick-off. They're just going to be able to cancel the outpost control. Easy setup, easy kill, unstoppable now for the Sand King. There's a couple of items getting picked up as well. And we see the Lotus Orb for the Sand King. Troll, he's just got the Kyre and the Sunge completed as well.
That's really nice, having the Lotus Orb, just to be able to... the #1 priority for that is the Orchid Silence. They're gonna see that they've got some sort of vision in the area, so Lim, I think he just placed a sentry previously, but got a gem though. Bit surprised that they didn't get rid of that vision.
They don't have everyone right now. Farming Geniuses, yeah, they've got to be kind of careful. See, they're backing off, trying to reset, but Fury might be in trouble. Cookie's going to give him some better positioning out of the Earth Splitter. Looks like the Fury might be trying to cut this next wave as well, potentially.
I'm liking this from Army Geniuses though. Now they're just taking away the Tri-Camp from the Radiant, getting their tier 3 neutral items. It's always going to be a factor just to try and choke them out as much as possible. It really is only Jamesy that can leave the base right now.
Yeah. Feels like Army Geniuses, when they get ahead after the laning stage, they have a very good understanding of how they need to be able to play the lineup to be able to just minimize how much net worth and what the enemy team can get out of the map. But it showed in game 1, it's showing in this second game as well.
And Van was actually just forced to pop his 10-second BKB just to avoid, again, the roaming gank squad coming through. woMy was able to pick him off. They'll see this TP coming through towards the mid lane, so they know that the rest of the team is following up there, but they don't care. They just be like, you know what, divide and conquer.
Conquer indeed, as DB finds another kill. Does pop his own 10-second BKB as well for finding the Nyx assassin there, but moves 590 movement speed, so fast as the IO. And I
mean, he's got the Kobold form, the cup guy.
You see the tether's glitching how fast he's moving at the moment. Can't even keep up. Up they go. I mean, Radiant just feels like, how do you start a fight? You don't really have the ease of initiation like Daya do with this Sand King, and it's kind of showing throughout how aggressive Army Geniuses have been able to position themselves. And you've got Io in the back, Sand King can counter-initiate, and Troll just sitting in the front line. He's taking a lot of damage, but you even just give him the Lotus Orb as well, and look at him go to work on the towers here.
Van gets sprouted himself.
Sprouted up. He might be in trouble. The arrow almost eats it, but once again, the cookie displacement gives him some better positioning, and they're going to reset, but that tier 3 is taking an immense amount of beating mid.
Yeah, now you've got your BKB though on the Ember Spirit and level 18, so he's got some good burst damage to potentially be able to go through.
That slight vision advantage now on the high, and they're good careful because Dazzle's up on the front line here. Look at the damage coming through. Can he get the grave off? No, the AT ultimate is going to be able to bring him down. Van, along with James, he has spot the BKB, but look at the rest of Army Geniuses. They're pushing forward. They recognize their advantage right now through this fight. That is a 1-for-1 though. Dazzle for the Sand King. They're going to double back, try and deal with the racks here. And Radiant popping those BKBs. It's really going to hurt how they can contest and defend this barracks mid now.
A little bit too aggressive positioning coming through there from Abat on his Dazzle. It just means they're able to pick him off super early on into the team fight, and you know, a heal doesn't even save you anymore because you've got 8 Spirit Vessel charges on this Mirana. He's always just going to be able to layer those on top of you. I don't think we've actually seen the gobble up happen just yet. You know, Erice was able to get the Mortimer's Kisses off and clean up the Sand King on the back end of that, but you know, it's a big item to be able to finish up, but haven't yet to see a use from it, despite the fact that he now is sitting on 900 gold.
Feels like it's a little bit more difficult of like an Aghanims game for the Snapfire. Like there's not as many targets I feel you can eat up and chuck in. Nyx is probably, I'd say, the best.
Even just
Ember,
a proper treant, you know?
Oh, that's true, yeah.
You just need the initial, like I was mentioning before, you know, you need to be able to start the fight so that they're running away from you.
Let's see, Jamesy gonna try and look to turn the Spy Carapace, finds a connection, Van in top of the back line as well. Nice amount of damage getting dished out here at the start of the fight. woMy might pay the price, but he gets a nice amount of health back, and still pays the price as Jamesy. TP up with the BKB already used his AOK.
I think you're generally okay with, you know, losing one of your heroes for yet another usage of that Black King bar. Like we were mentioning before, you know, once those PKBs are super low, you will be reaching that level 25 on the Sand King if it does look to get that late. And yeah, you need to be so selective about when you actually are using that, because otherwise you're just going to be doing 0 damage in these team fights. And even the heart now picked up by the IO.
Jeez.
What's he going next? Is that just some regen, or is he actually going for the Necro Book, you reckon?
Who's this for, IO?
Yeah, he's got 2 Sage's Masks.
He had that before. I have to imagine it was just for the early game. A little bit of mana regen. I don't think he'll build it into something later on.
Maybe. Oh, if he was to build it into anything, maybe it's an Orchid and then eventually a Bloodthorn, just for some more pure burst damage. It's always nice. The True Strike as well can be really good if they were opting to go for any kind of, you know, evasion plays on Cignal side. They're just
That's on the
running
front line. They're going to try and deal with the support first. The ET stops a lot of the damage here, and they're going to be able to bring him down. The instant buyback with the counter initiation. They're on top of the back line. Troll's doing a very good job of forcing the Dazzle out of the fight. Meanwhile, with the rest of the calls from Cignal, Van's going to pay the price. James is able to deal with Lynn, but he's in trouble with the Barrel Track on the mark after the BKB. Finally, we see the Gobble Up used, but it's to no avail. Cignal Ultra just lacking the damage, and it's showing as well with the items that Army Geniuses has. The double heart on these cores, just trying to do whatever they can to tank up to minimize the damage output that Cignal can dish out.
It's one of the ways, like, you can they could probably afford to build a little bit more armor on the Army Geniuses side, just because they do have a decent amount of minus armor right now, but you know, pure HP is pretty damn effective as well, you know, just having the Hardened Tarask, the Eternal Shroud, so Troll's not dying anytime soon, especially if he does pick up this Aegis, which you would assume, and just giving the cheese over to the IO.
It's a 98% win probability at the moment. This game is continuing to look incredibly grim here for Cignal Ultra, and do they just... Is this where you just have to hope the Ember and the Furon can kind of kite this Aegis? Because it hasn't looked like this game they've been able to go head-to-head versus Army Genius in the team fight.
I mean, again, though, it's a question of you're kiting the Aegis, but it's probably going to be at the cost of another BKB charge. Both Van and Jamesy were forced to pop theirs just then. James is down to 7 seconds. Van's is down to 6. It's not looking good. Like, sure, you give up your mega kill streak on Lim to make it happen, but I don't really think he's caring all that much. I think they lost the gem too, but yeah, small loss.
Oh yeah, woMy's got the gem right now.
Oh yeah, nice. So they got it back.
It just feels like Cignal Ultra weren't able to hit that power spike they were looking for with this lineup, and now it just hasn't been able to kind of come together as a team. And Army Geniuses, it's all coming together for them as they're up the high ground. Troll's got the Aegis, 3,800 HP pool. You even got an Eye with 3,600 HP pool with the cheese as well. And well, Van's gonna have to come back. They need to offer some defense with the tier 3 already down. The barracks are soon to fall as well.
He's going for that MKB, but yeah, just a little bit short of it. It's kind of a similar situation to the
There we go.
fight last game.
One of a kiss, but instantly woMy's going to be able to cancel that one. He has committed now inside the tree line, but he's still got the force to reposition. They're going to continue to move on forward. Loads or pop up control wall. They just can't do anything. Look how aggressive they're able to play, trying to dive even deeper. With the buyback coming through, Erice is going to force them back at least, but woMy can still counter up if they push far. His position now on the western tree line is a nice spot to find the jump. 2 full sets of racks advantage now for Army Geniuses. They're trying to link down to the bottom side. MKB, this feels like it's do or die right now. Is this MKB damage enough from Van? They need to try something. Gobble up. Maybe, but woMy, no perfect timing as well. They find a Dazzle on the Hicks task and instantly brought down. Jamesy pops the BKB, but we just haven't seen the Dazzle do anything. Instantly, Abat drops the G's as soon as he falls into the disconnect. Dazzle is not happy with how this game 2 went, and Army Genius is hit back.
Oh, that's the classic C combo. The GG into the DC. It is, you know, a tale as old as time, but this time around, Army Geniuses, they realized the strengths. They were like,